So hello, it is Friday, but I'm reading Less Than Zombie by Douglas E. Winter. And am I crazy, or is this a Bret Easton Ellis like riff on Less Than Zero? Like, just the way it's written, it's like, oh, this reads like if Bret Easton Ellis wrote a zombie story. And I look at the title and the title is Less Than Zombie. I'm like, this is definitely a riff on Ellis. Like, right? Like, that's what it is. So I did just get it packed very early in the day, or either it was that or it was late last night when it came. That is this book, which I am interested in just because it's very controversial. And again, these self-published romances are so just beautifully formatted. Like, it's amazing. So I'm currently working on the second draft of the third Circular Cookies book, first book, Circular Cookies, next book, More Soup Murderer. And one thing I'm having fun with the series is that it's getting more self-referential as it goes on. It's like, you know, it's a slasher thriller situation, but it's also kind of a parody. But one thing I'm having fun with is that it just follows a very set pattern every single time, you know. We just had our kidnapping for the third book. Somebody gets kidnapped every single book. And I think that when I get to the fourth book, that's going to be more fun because the fourth book's not going to hit all those same beats that the first three have. And so I'm kind of excited for that. Also, look at how my hair's doing. I think I mentioned I want to try to get my curls back. I'm working on it. What a great recommendation, Amazon. I wonder who wrote that book. So I was sitting here playing a Pester Quest. I'm on Nepeta's route right now. See, I'm very bad at this game. But I also decide always to, if I don't become somebody's friend, that's just it. I just don't become their friend. Who have I gotten? I got Rose, Jade, Dave. I got Vriska, Equius, Tavros, and Aradia. I'm sorry, it's pronounced Aradia, not Aradia. I killed Terezi, so yikes. But I was pretty bad at what's it called? Hive swap, friend sim. I was pretty bad at friend sim too. I did get Marvis, which was my main thing. But as I was doing that, I did get a package. A package came, a mail lady came, and it is a whole fuck ton of manga. All right. I have Baki Monogatari, Volume 1. I have Akami ga Kill, Volume 2. These are good mangas, I'm not gonna lie. These are good. What? Danganronpa! I have Snow White with the red hair, Volume 1. There's Danganronpa. Goodbye Despair, Volume 2. I already have this one, but it's gonna be fun to reread it. We've got Naruto 48. I've got, oh, this is a light novel. Sword Art Online light novel. I got Akame ga Kill Volume 1. We've got a Pokemon one. Pokemon Adventures Best Red, whatever. Elf Quest. The Grand Quest. Whatever this is. Zelda. Another Snow White with red hair. Kingdom Hearts, another Elf Quest one, another Kingdom Hearts one. I got a bunch more Elf Quest ones. I'm gonna pull them all out. Here they are. And another Naruto. And a couple of sagas. Got these two sagas, 3 and 5, and then this Origin one. So there's that. I feel kind of bad for a mail lady because she's bringing in packages all the time, but that should stop soon because of the whole book buying thing. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. The one thing that is embarrassing about Pester Quest is that Nepeta's route almost made me fucking cry. So I did finish this one up. It's over. I finished it. It was a good one. Alright, so my next book is Remember Me Too, which is a reread. I've read this book twice. Well, this will be my second time. I've read the first one once, and I've read the third one once, but this is going to be my second time on this one. This is real quick. It's Christopher Pike, and it's only 200 pages, so I'm going to try and just read it right now and finish it up, is my goal before Stephen gets home. so I did not end up finishing up Remember Me Too. Last night I got like 50 pages in, and Steven got home way faster than I thought he would. I did also put all the books in the book haul spreadsheet, and I am at a new high. But we're done ordering. We've got some more things that are coming in, you know, a couple. We're not buying any more books until we hit $18.99, which is gonna be next year for sure. So we'll see how this goes. I will say I'm not a huge fan of Remember Me Too. Actually, the whole Remember Me series is like kind of meh. But one thing I do really like about Remember Me Too is its stupid troll story. I don't know, I just think it's so much fun. Miles better than the rest of the book, I'm gonna say. All right, I did go to like half the football game, but then I got bored and walked home because it was a home game. I did finish up Remember Me Too. It's not, I think as far as Pike goes, I think he's kind of famous for the Remember Me books because they are kind of, they're kind of esoteric, but they're not that good. Is the thing. Chain Letter is much better. I much prefer the Chain Letter duology to the Remember Me books. Next book I'm reading is called The Hand of Cain. It is very small, so hopefully I can finish that today as well. We'll see. I did also manage to procure a Pipeline Punch, so I'll be having this, which maybe will help me read faster. We'll see. So this is The Hand of Cain. It is very small. Yeah, it's like 160 pages. So the concept of this book is that we're following this guy Matthew, and he is like the worst person ever. He's awful, and he stops in at this gypsy palmist, and she just can't read his poems because he's just too awful. The thing is, the tagline is the hands were possessed by insatiable evil. I'm thinking it's the hands that are not the problem with Matthew. I think it's his entire being. That's the problem with Matthew. That's what I'm getting from this so far. So he just committed a murder, his first murder. You can guess kind of who it is if you kind of think about the title a little bit. And it says, Matthew Lodway looked down at his guilty hands. The first of their murders had been... The problem is not the hands, Matthew. The problem is you. Oh, I get... Okay, so spoilers for The Hand of Cain if you're sensitive. So the evil brother Matthew, so he's got two other brothers. One of them he has already murdered, but the other one is a surgeon, and he just rescued a young boy and his hands got stuck in a circular saw. And so now the surgeon father is going to amputate the hands of Matthew and give them to Timothy, the good brother. And now this tagline's making more sense. This is one of the so bad it's good horror books. I'm not gonna lie. You gotta listen to the beginning sentence of chapter 5. When the midget accosted him, Matthew Lodway was standing alone at the bar of the Nirvana Club, brooding. That's the first sentence of the chapter. The best anime that's ever existed. Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. We're still not getting Timothy's reaction to having that's the dead brother, Matthew's hands. And I thought we would by now, but we're still following Matthew being awful to everybody. So here it is, page 82, and we finally have the payoff. Finally. I am expecting the last, 80 pages? Yeah, the last 80 pages will just be full of Tim horrified. Well, his hands lead him on just a spree of terrible, terrible deeds. And if that doesn't happen, I'm going to be so sad. It's 7 o'clock. I've got like 60 pages left. I'm just going to sit down and finish this fucking book. Don't leave. Stay here. Stay here, Jelly Jam. Yes. And Jelly Jam's going to stay with me. And now we have child murder. It's never actually stated how old it is. It just says a young urchin. But this Timothy is really on a downward spiral here, is what we're seeing. He's 11. He's 11-year-old Terry Scouse. That's an unfortunate name. They're British, so they all have terrible names. The dad came in and murdered him with an axe. Just the best way this book could have ended. Anyway, this is the next book I'm going to read, so I know that Dirk is going to be tough, but if I do not get Dirk, I'm going to be so upset. Me too. It is not fair that they're playing Unite Synchronization right now. I actually looked it up because I cannot fuck this up, because I really wanted to click this one, but this one is more Dirky, and I'm like, I want to do this one. I looked it up, and this is the right answer, I'm pretty sure. This is all I wanted from this game. It's just this one. Just this one. I am a Dirk fan above all else. I know he's got his issues, but I just... Out of my 3 favorite Homestead characters, Dirk is objectively the best, which says a lot. My other 2 are Gamzee and Cronus. I just love the terrible. And Dirk's not he's not terrible. He just has the potential to be terrible, and he can't deal with people. I love him. And if my only purpose in playing Friend Sim was befriending Parvis and some of the other clowns, my only purpose in playing Pastor Quest was befriending Dirk. Of course, this is where Dirk Shrub would go. Of course. This is who I got. And I only cheated on one. Yeah, that means Rose, Dave, Jade, Vriska, Equius, Tavros, Aradia, Nepeta, Fefri, Jane, Dirk, and the director. I'm like 160 pages into this, and it's fine. Right now we're sitting at a solid like 3. It's okay. One thing I'm not liking about this book is how the message seems to be just don't question and do what you're told. Which I guess makes sense if it's a fairy tale retelling, because that is the message of a lot of fairy tales, and also makes sense if the author is a Mormon. But I'm just like, is that our message here? Is that what we're doing? I hate this. This kid, I hate him. Okay, I am loving how these 2 interact, though. I did finish this. It was fine. So I'm reading this, right? And I'm like 50 pages in. So the love interest was trying to get our main character to read some gay books. He just has a backpack full of gay books that he just carries around. And one of the books, that the only one mentioned by name, is There Are Things I Can't Tell You, which is a manga. And then Max, our main character's like, oh, is this hentai? And he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, do you mean manga? And Max is like, isn't it the same thing? And then Oliver was like, well, no, hentai is porn. But I've read There Are Things We Can't Tell You. And it is hentai. I don't know. This one, it's a little bit cute. It's got some flavor to it. They're British, which they don't really feel British half the time until they say maybe in America. But This is good because I think the only British people I like are Dan and Phil at this point. But yeah, it's an interesting one so far. I can tell it's going to be a quick read though, which is going to be kind of nice, I think. Right, I'm going to finish up this vlog saying I did in fact finish up this book, and it greatly exceeded my expectations. I'm going to say, based on the cover and the synopsis, I thought it was going to be weird, kind of pandery, extremely buzzword filled, and it kind of was, I'm not going to lie, but also genuinely cute, genuinely funny, and had some really genuine characters that I actually genuinely cared about. I could not stop reading it. I had to finish it. So I'm gonna say this was a huge, much better than I thought it was gonna be. I'm not gonna lie. I did not think this was gonna be that good, and so I'm glad to end my long weekend on a positive note. I'm finishing such a good book, especially considering the other book I read today was very meh. I did get a lot of writing done today as well. Lots on all three of my main second drafts, and as well as my little first draft that I'm just kind of putting words in here and there. I gotta finish it before NaNoWriMo, but I've still got a week. So I got a lot of writing done today. That's great. Guillaume is, I think, I finished the first part of Guillaume, the first third of it. And I think I know what I'm doing for the second third, because I already kind of knew, but I didn't know whose perspective it was going to be from. I think I know now, which is very exciting. Flip-Flop Felony is starting to really gain traction. And Class B, I'm just having fun with because I'm in the backstory part, which I knew was going to be the most fun. So yeah, I think it was a success. Do I want to go back to it tomorrow? No. But do I ever? Also no.